Congratulations, you've just woken up as a night watchman in 1850s London. The good news, you're still alive. The bad news, so are all the rats. Your bed for the night is a pile of straw and rags you found in an abandoned alleyway. It's like old socks mixed with rotten fish and a touch of wet dog. And that S before the rain starts pouring. You blink into the dark streets, realizing it's already past midnight. The city is eerily quiet except for the distant sound of horse hooves and the occasional shout from another watchman somewhere in the distance. You grab your lantern and check that your wooden truncheon is within reach on your belt. Your first task is to make rounds, patrolling the streets for fires, suspicious characters, or anything out of the ordinary. But here's what nobody expected: your job isn't just about watching. It's about dealing with whatever chaos the night brings. You walk past shuttered shops and houses where people sleep soundly behind closed doors. Your breath forms clouds in front of your face as you trudge through puddles that gleam under the flickering light of distant gas lamps. But probably not all the residents are so lucky. Some might be up to no good. Suddenly, you spot movement ahead, a group of figures huddled together in a doorway. Your gut tightens. They could just be drunkards looking for warmth or something far more sinister. But probably not. And that's all before you even make it halfway through your patrol. You blink away the darkness, wondering how anyone could expect to see anything with just one candle stuck in a tin can. But here's the thing. It wasn't a candle. It was a smoky, unreliable gas lamp that barely lit up the puddles of rainwater on the street. Your heart races as you hear someone approach in the shadows. It's like playing tag with a ghost, except this ghost might actually kill you if you don't keep moving. But just when you think it couldn't get worse, you realize you're standing in front of an open sewer gate spewing raw sewage into the street. It's like stepping into a toilet that never got flushed, except much worse. And it's everywhere. You see something dark moving inside a window. Could be anything from rats to robbers. But here's what nobody expected. The figure isn't moving toward you, it's running away. And that's when everything changes. Suddenly, there are people everywhere shouting, screaming, pushing each other around. You blink in confusion because just minutes ago it was pitch black silence. But here's the thing. This isn't about you, it's everyone else who seems to be losing their minds. She looks at you with eyes that say, "Save me," but there's nothing you can do. The streets are chaos, and you're just another guard trying to keep order, like playing whack-a-mole, only with murderers instead of moles. You turn around to see a rider in the distance, silhouetted against the flickering gas lamps. He is coming straight for you. And that's all before something completely unexpected happens. Suddenly, you hear a faint whisper from behind the darkened window of a nearby tavern. Your heart races as you wonder if this is just another drunkard ranting or something more sinister. You push open the door to find a room filled with foggy steam from ale spilled on the floorboards, mingling with the smell of rotting cabbage and cheap tobacco smoke. And there, in the corner, you spotted a tiny bundle wrapped in tattered cloth. But here's the thing. You're not alone. A shadowy figure darts out the back door and disappears into the night, leaving only a trail of footprints in the mud. You think it was some kind of abandoned baby or kitten, maybe even a small bag of stolen goods. Actually, it was none of those things. It's a small box filled with papers, old photographs, and what looks like secret correspondence. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, one of the photos catches your eye, a blurry image showing a man who resembles your boss, but with a sinister smirk and hands covered in blood. You'd think this was just another night's work for an overworked watchman. But probably not. This is something bigger, more dangerous than you ever imagined. The mystery deepens, and it's starting to look like you're the only one who can solve it. But here's what nobody expected. The very next night, your shift starts with an even more bizarre and shocking discovery, one that ties directly back to those mysterious papers in the box. And it doesn't stop there. You can't shake the feeling that something is watching you from the shadows. Your breath comes out in misty clouds as you hurry to find your post at the bridge near Waterloo Station. But here's the thing. The night isn't just about cold and loneliness. You turn around and see a flicker of movement, but can't make out who or what it is. You quicken your pace, your heart racing like it's a sprint to the finish line in a marathon. But just when you thought it couldn't get worse, you whirl around, your hand instinctively reaching for your torch, but finding nothing there. Of course not. Victorian Watchman R&T equipped with Batman-esque gadgets. You're left with a wooden stick and a heavy sense of dread. You try to shake off the fear as you continue your patrol over the bridge, but clings to you like an extra layer of clothing in the winter. Your mind races with possibilities: a criminal on the loose, a woman being attacked. But here's what nobody expected. You freeze, every muscle tensed, ready for anything. As they draw closer, you recognize the sound. It's just another watchman, likely returning from his own patrol. "Evening," he says gruffly as he passes by. "Keep your eyes peeled, mate." You nod, try to reassure yourself that everything is all right. However, you can't shake the feeling of unease. You continue your rounds, keeping one eye on the shadows and another on the street. But just when you think you've settled back into a routine patrol, you rush towards it, your heart pounding harder than ever. The scene that greets you is something out of a nightmare. It's not what you expected at all. You think, "I'm here to protect people," you mutter under your breath, maybe to catch criminals. But actually it was neither. You can't make out much in the dim light, except for a boat and several men huddled together, their whispers barely audible. They seem nervous, but not panicked like they have something to hide. And just when you think your job is dangerous because of what could physically harm you, your blood runs cold as another man steps in to view the leader, or perhaps a criminal mastermind. Your heart sinks, but it's not just fear that grips you. You're about to discover something far more sinister than anything your torch could illuminate. But here's the twist, the most shocking detail of all. You've been patrolling a bridge that's become a key spot for. They use it under your very nose, exploiting the night's darkness and your presence as cover. And just when you think you're there to protect and serve, you realize the full extent of your powerlessness in this corrupt system, a realization that shakes you to your core. But before you can process it fully, another figure moves out from the shadows towards you. And just as things couldn't get any worse, you prepare for confrontation, realizing this night is far from over and that you're about to uncover something bigger than anything you could have imagined. But here's the kicker: what do you do when your job turns out to be part of the problem? That thought lingers as you prepare for what comes next, knowing full well that tonight's patrol will never be the same. That thought lingers as you prepare for what comes next, knowing full well that tonight's patrol won't be just another walk around the block. You step into the night, your leather boots squeaking against wet cobblestones slicked with mud and worse. The city smells of coal smoke mixed with sewage, making you feel like you're walking through an industrial-sized dirty diaper factory. But here's the thing. As you round the corner to make your next checkpoint, you notice something odd in the distance. A flicker of movement behind a darkened doorway. You slow down, eyeing the spot suspiciously. Is it just me? You whisper to yourself. Or does London seem to have more than its fair share of creepy crawlies tonight? Just as you think it's your imagination playing tricks on you, something scurries across the alley. Your heart skips a beat. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, you spot another shadow darting away. This time, there's no mistaking it. A human silhouette slips into an open door before vanishing into the night. You feel the adrenaline surge through your veins. "Thief," you mutter under your breath. Or worse, your mind races with possibilities. Maybe a band of cutthroats planning their next heist? Or perhaps it's some secret society plotting against the crown itself. But probably not. More likely, it's just another homeless soul looking for shelter from the cold and rain. You decide to investigate further, but then hesitate. Do you risk your job by chasing after someone who might be nothing more than a frightened vagrant? Or do you ignore what could be an important clue in protecting London streets? You're caught between duty and curiosity. As you weigh your options, another thought hits you like a slap in the face. You remember that there's supposed to be a new policy about reporting suspicious activity tonight. But nobody told you what it was or how to recognize it properly. You feel like you're walking into a trap set by some faceless bureaucrat who thought it would be funny to throw you in the deep end without a lifeline. But here's what nobody expected. The door swings open just as you approach, and a figure steps out cloaked in darkness and carrying something that glints in the faint light of your lantern. Suddenly, everything changes when the streets are silent, save for the occasional distant rumble of horse hooves and the sharp cry of an owl. You catch your breath, relieved that you've made it through another watch without incident. But then, there's always tomorrow. The nights are long and lonely, filled with nothing but the occasional snatches of conversation from the few late-nighters who pass by your watch post. You wonder about their stories, where they're going this time of night, what lies ahead in their lives. You wrap your cloak tighter around yourself. The cold bites at your bones, reminding you that winter isn't far off. And with it comes longer nights, colder temperatures, and fewer people to keep you company. You remember that fleeting glimpse from earlier, the suspicious character with something hidden under their cloak. Your mind races back to the moment, wondering what it could have been. But here's what nobody expected, that the small things can often be the most telling. That shadow might just hold the key to some bigger mystery hidden in the shadows of Victorian London. You shake your head, clearing your thoughts as another patrol begins. There's no time for idle musings. Now, only one step ahead of danger is enough to keep this job going. And perhaps that's the strangest part. Not just the long nights or the cold mornings, but how easily life can turn from routine into something far more mysterious and dangerous all in an instant.